You all, so when we ended on the 13th, you all were finishing, we received your last proposal letter. I'm working from that.
Okay.
So without conversation, right, sometimes there can be assumptions.
Okay.
So, and so we can just make sure we talk through that.
Okay.
And the good news is I think we're close. Oh, did you guys not come first? Right?
Oh, yeah.
How soon?
Thank you.
I can go to you.
Ready?
No, don't look ahead. Stop.
We made sure it was really cold in here today.
Is it a 10? Is it like a?
Hey,
Right.
plan ahead.
It's only the first time I see you share your coat.
I know.
So I want to walk through and just focus on the places that were slightly different, because I know when you sent yours, there was lots of blue, so which means we're in agreement. There are 2 spots, I think, that they're in blue, but I put red on the letters. Percy, I'm going to take it away. And that is because I think we're in agreement on the language, but there's 1 or 2 things that are slightly different. I want to talk through that to make sure we truly are in agreement. So with that, let's move to our page 3. It's right before 6.6. And overall, I believe we're in agreement with the language. Our last proposal had the last piece of that sentence. Again, it's not a huge thing, but again, if we're saying we're in agreement, I want to make sure we're working from the same type of language. Okay, so that's why that's red. Moving to, let's move to compensation. We will support COLA of 654. Sorry, article 10.
I was looking for the table.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh, yeah, I didn't use the table. But so.
Talked about table.
Yeah. And to me, that's a formatting thing. I'm not formatting till we get to the end.
Concept versus format.
Yeah, yeah. The next piece is 10.3. So I sort of made some assumptions and want to clarify, which is why I put ours in red, but I think the idea we are in agreement. We originally had new hires would be able to apply a month after their hire. Your language added new employees hired after October 1 and before July 31st or July 1st. And I believe that is because for everyone else, like current employees, October 1's the deadline. So I was making an assumption that you were looking at the new hires during that window could, but for example, August, September, they could, if they were hired in August, they couldn't apply in September. Right? I'm interpreting it the way you intended.
We'll talk about it.
Okay, because I think, again, the idea was new hires shouldn't have to wait if they're hired in December then for the next year. But just want to be really clear why that clarification. I'm okay, but we will be managing it. I want to make sure we're all on the same page. All right, next will be severance benefits. So still Article 10. You all have at the very end where it says the equivalence of last year's FTE, and we, for all groups, have had current year. So I want to make sure, again, that actually can make a difference for someone. Last year who retired now would be last year if they were 4 hours, but this year they went to 8 hours, for example, that's a difference. So I want to make sure our intent was current year. If you're retiring at the end of this year, you get whatever you were this year. Okay. Holidays, I think last time we were in agreement, I went back and added table.
What?
Let's
We're
see.
getting her over.
Let's see, insurance. We are in agreement as far as the amounts. You had worded it slightly different, and I think it's just to incorporate the table version. The wording is the same. To me, that's a formatting thing. Just so if you're kind of wondering, yours was still yellow. The next piece is leaves 14.3. We still are very strong on foreclosure days. I want to just clarify. The idea behind that is we want to give individuals and have, so there's some flexibility, especially when Ryan's trying to make that decision in the end. We'll be able to have that, but the district can always make days up regardless. So if it is a closure, it's not an automatic assumption we're using this. The district still has the ability to go back and make those days up. Also, if there is a need, and let's just say it's a horrific year, we've had a year, I think we had like 7 days one year. The district superintendent can always say, I'm going to go ahead and give another day. My worry is when people see 5, there's going to be an assumption we automatically kind of get these 5 free days. And that's not the intent. So that's why we want to just hold it. Okay. 14.7. It looked like you were folding to the days, but the way the change the language actually seems to change the intent. And so we weren't looking to change language. So you won't see anything in ours. I'm referencing yours. Uh, 14.7.5.
I'm sorry, can you clarify the language change that you're referencing?
In yours, you have a 14.7.1. You had made a strikeout. It's your yellow section. Right now, it's prorated based on if someone starts in December, but they are on a 181 calendar, they wouldn't get all 10 days, right? Because they didn't start at the beginning of the school year. The way the language was changed in yours looks like they would get it even if they started even in May, for example. So we weren't looking to do that. And I don't know if that was your intent. Again, we didn't have that conversation. Okay, 14.7.5. Again, we're wanting to hold to policy. We've run into situations again where an individual had an accommodation and we need to be able to have information to support that. And that can happen with if someone's out for 5 days. So that's why, again, we're trying to align it with our policy. And then, under Article 17, JLMC, we're in agreement on language. Again, formatting is probably more. You had listed it under 17.5, and we had added it under the topic section. I don't think since we agreed to the language, we can work on where. Then we have, I think we're to Article 23. So based on the conversation last time, we understand that your intent behind your language was to recognize it's not based on a specific student, but looking at an employee. So that can look different. Again, every situation is so different. Every individual's jobs sort of looking at that. So we are proposing instead To have district administration and union president will review the documented incidences twice a year. And then the final determination is made by district administration. They give that chance, again, a little bit for probably maybe more transparency, if that was a concern that someone was just arbitrarily making a decision, that you have that opportunity to kind of look at that. That is, Article 20.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, sorry, I jumped all the way
that's a
back.
big one.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So the reason the first part struck is just to go ahead and just read through that whole thing. And then, like I said, I think so much other, we were so close and we were in agreement. Any questions? Okay. Should I go get the bubbly ready? Across the street.
Sparks Insiders.
That's right. Yep, we're giving them a moment.
Or-
Secrets, right?
All right.
Classified, classified.
That other meeting, John.
All right, back on record.
Another job, Mary. Are you ready?
Yep.
Okay, so we thought we'd, instead of printing, killing some more trees, that we would just go down through yours for
Okay.
this and then we'll have. The first thing was on page 3 there in the red. So that's, yes, that's. Okay. Fine for us. And page 4, at the bottom, we're agreeable to that. And the next one was, about the newly hired employees. I believe that's what we were understanding. The only thing was, what if someone gets hired like on September 25th? Are we just gonna give them till October 1, or would that be something that we would totally do? I mean, it sounds silly, but it is
No, I mean, it's
something that
very,
could happen.
it's very true.
Give them, 5 days, 6 days, 5 days.
I mean, part of it depends again on how we do the contract. That doesn't feel very good, and so that's why we were doing a month after. They could, I'm trying to think, because it's almost again, the way we word it, that they would have a month after in those situations. I think if we're in agreement with the idea, we can work on to make sure
Okay, that's a win.
that the idea is we want to support individuals and not like make it harder, but we certainly want to make sure we have the right, it in writing.
We're not saying they wouldn't be able to do it, it's just the timetable and getting the transcript, program, push
Absolutely.
it, and then they just fall into the second part of the language where they have to do it.
Yeah,
We're okay with that, right?
Yes.
Sure.
Severance benefit, yes, that was our meaning, was like what you said, the current year.
okay,
We meant the last year as being their current.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
the technical last year. It's formatting. So since this originally had gone in a bundle thing, looking at the 4 emergency closure days,
Mhm.
we would be in agreement to that. If over here, we kept the original contract language, which says in excess of 5 or more days.
14.7.
14.7. We'd like to go revert to original contract.
okay,
Then it would be an acceptance of the 4 days.
okay. Okay,
I think it's just the back page. And we are in agreement with that, as long as we know that if there is some sort of egregious situations that we don't lose people, that we would be able to discuss it. And where it says union president, if we can put or their designee, in case there was some sort of, something comes up. And I believe that's.
my request on that, just because I recognize, there's a learning piece, I think, through this. You and I have worked together
Correct.
a long time, and so we understand kind of how to have conversations. Is by putting that in there, there's an opportunity for a training. 'Cause it shouldn't just be anyone random to say
Right,
it,
that's
right? Like there's an opportunity, so you want consistency.
That's what our intention is, especially this being my last year probably as president, then we need to make sure that other people.
Well, it's also, you guys do so much that sometimes you might need another person that's had some time to work with, but available, just like we put another person or designee or superintendent designee or HR director designee. It's the same concept from both sides. We're just trying to make sure that we have somebody available. Right?
Any other questions? Do you want me to? Meet?
No,
I have the bubbly
Or do we?
Hey, you guys Morse coding on the table?
Sounds good.
All right. We accept.
All right.
I made the notes here. Do we want to sign this and then follow?
I can just print this. I have
Yeah,
it typed up. I just didn't have time to print it.
Oh, no worries.
I just-
Yeah, it's all done. We just have to print it. We just didn't want to burn all those trees.
Yeah, I asked them not to burn trees.
Yeah.
Yes. If I could save something to.
Well,
You saved time and trees.
I did.
You, two things.
Two things.
Now you learn.
well, pending signing it, and I'm really optimistic we're
And
gonna
this is my
sign.
last one of these, so.
Congratulations.
Mark, you got a signature for me today? We have to vote on it and ratify, but yes, that is coming. That is coming. Guys, I'm officially resigning.
I'm tiring.
I just wanna say.
Retiring, yes, sorry, thank you.
I want to say congratulations. It's been really great to see that Mary, your team, the whole team, and Ryan, Jennifer, the whole team here. You've shown the best way of doing work. You advocated for the membership. You advocated for the kids. You advocated for the institution, and so did the administration did. I've been through many of those here and other places, and I can say this is a role model of negotiation, respect, treating each other with dignity, and taking care of what's best for each other, including the working families that you represent. So really, congratulations on this huge, huge accomplishment. I'm really optimistic, and I know it's a TA pending your membership to approve it and the board to ratify it, but congratulations.
Thank you.
Do you need the live stream ready?
No, you can just kill them.
Can we talk timelines?
Yes.
Yes.
Let's,
We'll get the document to you on
July.
Yeah, probably retire in July 31st. It doesn't have me for 4 days. I mean, that's why I've been waiting.
Right, who's talking?
All right, so we got a TA. We've all signed off in the front of them. We each have a copy, so, we're good to go. We're gonna try to put the meeting, the vote, for the 4th is our plan. And we can have time for you to get into your board when you need to. So, stay tuned, but we have a tentative TA today, so congratulations, everybody.
Yeah.
You're gonna have your vote completed by June 4th?
Yes,
It's the plan.
no, that's yes.
And that gives us time to get it into the board packet
Mm-hmm.
by the 7th. So that they would have that in their packet, because our final board meeting of June is on the 13th.
Right.
So that's perfectly
Yep.
good timelines.
And for the members watching, we're going to send out an email shortly with a calendar invite with all the information where it's gonna be and how it's gonna be conducted, so you'll have that soon. And with that, I think we're adjourned.
Sure.
Right.